Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing this product right here. This is the Zero Breeze Mark II portable air conditioner. Use it for tents, RVs, really whatever you want. It runs off this detachable battery down here in the base. I put some chapters down below to try to make this easy for you guys to jump around and watch what you want. Just a heads up, I don't do a lot of product review. I'm much more interested in storytelling, and that's probably going to come through later in this video. But this is my second summer. I'm just now finishing with this product. Had it 2 years almost. So I felt like I had some information worth contributing to the conversation that hopefully will help some of you guys out. So let's dive right in.
That's where I broke my bumper.
If you follow my channel for any period of time, you probably realize that I don't do just like a ton of product reviews. That's really for two reasons. One is what I mentioned earlier. I just enjoy the storytelling more. I enjoy creating that type of content more. But the main reason, this is really the big one, I don't feel like you can review a product effectively until you've had it for some time. You know, in overlanding and in camping, one of the main features that matters the most to us in terms of the products we use is durability. The only way that I know how to test durability is use over time. And so I just don't review a lot of products until I've had some time with them. This is a product though that I bought in March of 21. Like I said, just finished my second summer with it, and I've used and abused this thing. You can tell it's not a pristine unit. It's been used. But in that time, there's some things that I have learned about it that I absolutely love, and some things that I don't love. And so that's really what I want to talk about. Now, the best way I know how to review something like this is to use it as it was intended. So let's get out of this garage. Let's load up the trucks. We're going to head out to the woods. We're going to go camping. I'm going to use this tonight, set it up in the tent, and then I'll walk you through the pros and cons, what I like and don't like. Let's head to the hills.
Arkansas summers are sticky hot and made for adventure. Those things may seem at odds with each other, and to be honest with you, it's caused a constant summertime war that's waged in my home. Some days I want to go explore, but it's too hot for the kids. Next weekend they want to go, and I'm ready for a break. I can handle the heat during the day. We usually camp by water, and it's easy to cool off. The hard part is the night. I hate sweating while I sleep. I've had an Arkansas summer evening in the tent near 90 degrees with no air movement. You feel like you're suffocating and constantly questioning your own judgment.
That's a lot of pasta. Is it all gonna fit?
Well, we're gonna see.
What kind of a moron ventures out to sleep in a muggy swamp when there's a cool, comfy bed at home? Truth is, if you're watching this video, you may, like myself, be one such moron. So stick with me, my perspiring pupil. I think you'll like where we land.
We're getting ready to turn down for the night, but I wanted to take a quick second and just show you how I have this set up in the tent. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so you can probably hear it running. You can hear the air blowing out of it. I've got the Zero Breeze sitting on top of some cases just out there on my roof rack. And I like doing it this way when I have my kids or my wife with me, because it leaves a whole bunch of space in here. It doesn't take up any footprint, and it just sits right there. If the weather's good, it can just sit out there and I can run it. So in this bag over here, I keep the little remote that that came with it. That's really handy so that when it is out there, I can just real easily adjust it. But it's no big deal. Just stick my hand out the window and turn something up or down. So that's not a big deal. But it's nice having it, just the convenience of having it in here. When I'm by myself, a lot of times I will go ahead and just put the unit in the tent with me because there's plenty of space in here. But when I can, I like to put it on the roof rack for a lot of reasons. For the space, obviously, but also it does drain water. It condensates like any air conditioner. So being able to keep that, and those hoses have to be run external of the tent, the heat exhaust and the fresh air intake. So you see that's blowing 51-degree air out of there. Super cool. So what I typically do when I'm getting ready to go to sleep is I'll go ahead and zip this up all around that just to keep the cool air insulated in here. And then, I mean, already it's dropped the temperature in here at least 10 degrees and we just turned it on. That's so nice. So that's kind of how we have it set up, and it works really nice for us. I did want to go over some tech specs of the unit. So to do that, let's jump back over to the garage and I'll hit you with those details.
The Zero Breeze runs at 240 watts, about 1/5 the power consumption of a conventional air conditioner. It runs with a battery, so you don't need a generator. You can use the battery they make that attaches to the base, or you can use your own 24-volt battery supply. This thing is a 2,300 BTU real air conditioner. There's no water or ice required due to the built-in 24-volt adaptive frequency microcompressor. It's small and sturdy, and I can attest to its durability, as it's been bouncing around in the back of my truck on the trail for over a year now.
All right, there's your tech specs. It's about morning back at camp. So again, let's pop out of this garage, head back out there, get some coffee, and enjoy the cool morning air.
Creature comforts. Unnecessary and self-indulgent as they are, most of us have become accustomed to a certain level of luxury. Instant hot water, light bulbs, paved roads, and pizza delivery. In the scope of human history, we have it pretty stinking good. But that begs the question, is there value in occasionally doing things the hard way? And how do you quantify the hard way? To the avid hiker, an overlander may have it easy. To the overlander, the RV folks may be slacking. There's always someone pushing harder and doing more, so check the judgment at the door and just ask yourself, what can I do to help me gain more appreciation for what I have? I find that a bit of perspective often goes a long way. So on this trip, we headed to two places I wanted my kids to see for the first time: the Union Schoolhouse and the Spurgeon Warren Cabin.
I'm fully aware that this is unlike most review videos. The fact is, this is just the only way I know how to do it and make it interesting to me. So I hope that it was informative and useful and entertaining. I wanted to take a minute at the end of this video and talk pros and cons based off my specific use case. So a pro is the fact that it is relatively light. Now, Zero Breeze says 16 pounds. That's obviously not counting when you attach the hoses and the batteries, because this is much heavier than 16 pounds once everything is attached. It's relatively light. I can get up on the roof of my truck without a lot of effort, so that's great. Another big pro, it does what it advertises. It cools it down. Now, it doesn't run super long. This is a con, but it's a con I understand because it's just the limitation of batteries and just the mechanics of it. I can get about 4, sometimes close to 5 hours running this if it's not super duper hot outside and if I'm not running it at complete full speed. Now, the setting that I use primarily is the rocket setting, which just means it just runs continuously. That is what's going to drain your battery the fastest. So keep that in mind. But my mentality is I want to get in the tent, I want it to get cool, and then I want to fall asleep. And then if this thing wants to shut off after I've gone to sleep, I'm fine with that. It's going to maintain the temperature for a while in the tent, and the ambient temperature drops outside, and so it gets cooler anyway. So really, it's just about getting comfortable enough to fall asleep. The cons, I really have just one giant complaint. When this battery is attached to the unit on the base, it's not actually powering the unit. Attaching them together does not power them. Maybe I've just gotten spoiled by Apple and companies that have made things like this very convenient. But in my mind, when you connect this to the base, power should be going. It should be able to turn on. In this unit, you have to use this cable. I hate this cable. First of all, whoever designed it must have had fairy fingers, because it's a screw-in cable and I can't fit my giant sausage fingers to even thread this thing on. Next to impossible, so I almost never do that. Secondly, this is a huge liability if you overland in terms of it getting broken. I've already bent it where it's hit something in the back of my truck, and that could easily break. If you do decide to switch from battery to like a jackery, you have to undo this cable, connect a separate cable to this, plug that into the jackery. And if you're doing it in the night, I've had it gone off before when it was really hot and the battery drained, and I switched it to my jackery. It took like 10 minutes to switch it. This is honestly, if Zero Breeze figured out a way to put a connection in this battery directly to this unit, they could do that for the price that they're charging and still make it profitable for them. This product to me would have basically no cons. I mean, I have a few little things, like it'd be cool if these vents, there was some way they were permanently attached and could like suck into the machine a little bit more. That'd be cool. So you'd have to carry them around separately, but that's not a huge deal. Limitation of the battery power, how long this can run, I understand that. That's just a physics thing. But this needs to be solved. They fixed this, and this is a product that I think everybody would want this. That's the Zero Breeze Mark II portable air conditioner. I hope this video was informative and helpful. I know it was a little bit of a different product review. Like I said, I love the storytelling. Speaking of that, if you want to do a deep dive into that with me and hear a really awesome, true Southern story, I would love you to check out our series, Ghost of the Piney. I will drop a link to this one right here. Chapter 2 is called The Hunt for Erskine's Grave, and the story just blew my mind when I heard it, and I think you guys will dig it. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the more you camp, the less deer the aliens abduct.